Cool. So, this VOD, it's Silver 5 Ekko. And we don't really know what we're going to focus on, but the guy's pretty new to League of Legends. So, I'm sure there's going to be a lot to learn here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just started actually. I created this account several years ago, but I didn't start playing until I think like five or so months ago. Like actually
Okay.
actively playing.
hmm
So yeah, I'm definitely quite new.
What do you
And
think your...
basically,
Oh, go ahead.
oh no,
What do you think
you
your
go
biggest
ahead.
strengths and weaknesses are?
Hmm, that's a good question actually. I think it's difficult for me to assess my strengths right now. I think maybe weaknesses. I think I tend to be very passive. I think in lane, like I just try to focus mainly on like CSing properly. I guess not really trading. I guess a whole lot. I just feel like I can be really passive sometimes,
Okay.
and like, yeah.
Okay, so you're playing Ekko right now. What are you
hmm
doing level 1?
Okay, I'm pushing in the wave.
Why?
I guess. Well, I guess because that's one of Echo's biggest strengths is pushing in the wave and ensuring that he can get those roam times off and assist with vision.
Okay, so I'm not going to say if it's wrong or right. I'm just asking you so that
hmm
I can hear your
Okay.
train of thought. And that's really important because what you say and what you do might be two different things. So you just said you were
Okay.
pushing to go get vision, but your ward is
Yes.
down.
Yeah, because I used it
Um,
earlier.
yeah, but it's down.
hmm
So you're now pushing to deny gold. That's the reason you would be pushing
Yes.
now since you don't have a ward anymore.
Okay.
Um, you don't even deny experience like this because when you hard push, your minion wave does like it doesn't die, so they don't lose any experience because you're hard pushing.
Okay.
I didn't actually get to see the jungler yet. Um, I don't think there was a loading screen yet. Who was their jungler? Do you know?
I think there was a little clip where I tabbed and showed the
Oh yeah, I think you just said it again. I wasn't really paying attention.
yeah. I don't remember exactly. I think this was last week. I
Okay.
think I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, I did not remember who the jungler is actually. So,
Okay.
but he'll show. Actually, I can look at my
No, it's
match
not a big of a
history.
deal.
Okay.
I mean, we'll figure out and we can talk about it then.
Yeah, in time.
Okay, so you don't have a ward, so don't do that.
Okay.
That's really greedy.
I guess I was just trying to figure out like. Okay, yeah, I guess that probably was greedy. I was just trying to figure out if I could get any information on what camps he's visited.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to say like if we know who it is, their jungler,
hmm
but like it's Wukong. Okay. Um, then I guess that's fine. But the way you walk up, I'll go back to it. Um,
hmm
you should walk up in a different way. So here, you should be pathing like this, which is different than this. Just as a small note.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Wukong, it's our jungler. But that's only to peek in a little bit sooner, just because of the way
Okay.
that wall works.
Huh, I did not know that.
Yep. Because
Okay.
walls cut vision. So if you're walking, if if this is the wall,
hmm
I guess like that actually. And then like raptors are in here. If you walk like this, you don't get vision as soon as you walk like this because basically it's like a
Okay.
circle, right? And your circle like it's kind of hard to like redraw, but it's just kind of how
Yeah.
vision works.
No, I think I understand what you're
Yeah.
getting
So
at.
just a small thing. Echo doesn't really have a laning phase when you decide to do what you're
hmm
doing. So that's why if you watch the other VOD reviews, you would know that by now we'd probably already be like 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
But you've pretty much just hard shoved. And that's fine. Um, it's a little bit greedy to hard shove.
Okay, it's Graves.
without having information on their jungler, but it's okay. It's not the worst thing. Okay, so you're positioning on the correct side of the lane because we just saw Graves top, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
You starting or staying towards the bottom side is also good for the entire like laning phase, because for that same reason, with pretty much Graves going to start bottom side like 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
This ward kind of sucks though.
That one specifically?
Yeah, you don't really gain anything out of this ward right now. Not that position is bad.
I just saw Graves top?
Yes.
Or...
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason is we just saw Graves top, and he's going to be here, 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 here. He's not going to be down here. And then there's a fight going top lane, so he's going to walk this way. And then you have a minion wave here. So you can answer this minion wave, push it, and then get a further ward like here, or you can just base.
Okay.
But this ward doesn't really do much for you right now because, look, you have no resources, or you have no mana. So you have 2 Qs left, which will then turn into 3 Qs in a few seconds. And you can't clear the wave with 3 Qs. You need 4. So you only have 2 Qs, right? You see how this is different? Like how one lets you stay for an extra wave?
Yeah.
You pretty much need 2 Qs to stay for a wave. So since you only have 3 Qs, you should just push and base. Which is why this ward kind of sucks, like I said, to re-explain that.
And so you're saying push. I take it that's different from shoving.
No, sorry, shove is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes they're different, but in this case, they're interchangeable.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't want to stick around when you don't have resources. Okay, so this is kind of trolling. I have no idea what you're doing. You actually just trolled. Okay. So Okay. I'm going to explain why you should lose the game off of minute 3.
Like, yeah, I realized what I was doing there, but...
Okay. When you're like this right now,
mm-hmm.
you're walking towards their turret when Katarina's behind you. I was
very greedy. Like, yeah. I realized that as I was doing it, but I just couldn't stop myself.
Okay, so these creeps aren't going to die. I know you're greeting for these creeps. They're not going to die in 5 seconds. Right?
Okay.
This minion is the one that's aggroed. So all of these minions are going to be focusing this. Meaning these ones are not going to die in the time that your Q is up. One might die. So instead, Katarina's like here. You were like here. You just walk this way because this is going away from her dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going this way. No. You don't want to create yourself negative space. You want to walk on a horizontal. And in general, the way you beat Katarina is you walk this way, or this way, assuming that she's here. If this is Katarina, she's going to Q you here. Mm-hmm. And then her thing's going to land right here. Okay, you see how you dodge that square? Anyway, that's not backwards.
So you can kind of predict where the Q is going to land?
No, you should know where it's a set distance from when she throws it.
Oh, it's a set distance.
When it hits you, yeah.
Okay.
So if we watch...
Does it always usually land behind you then?
It always lands behind you.
Oh,
so look,
okay. I did not know that.
So if Katarina's here and you're here, it's going to go like this. If Katarina is the X, it's going to go like that. Because it's a line through your centers, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So see, the dagger lands on you right here. Mm-hmm. So look where you are. See how it lands literally exactly on that line?
Okay.
So that's how Katarina's daggers are always going to land. And Shelton just clarified that it's always 350 units behind you.
Okay.
The first target hit. So thank you for that number, Shelton. Okay, so at this point, right now, you should say, okay, I have 1 Q left. I have 60% health. It's basing time. Like, she doesn't have cooldown, so she can't kill me, but I have 1 Q in 4 seconds. I'm going to wait around here, stay away from this dagger, probably path a little bit this way because she's walking forward still, or even this way. just away
Okay.
from this dagger. And then once your Q's back up, you walk forward, you range indicator your Q on the range, which is this, and then you just base. Because you got the push. That's all that matters. You can't stay,
Okay.
you get the gold. But when you're like this, you know you're going to base, pop your potion. There's no reason to not pop your potion.
Okay.
And then when you get engaged on, pop a potion. Because a potion is 150 health. Okay, refillable is a little bit less, but it's 150 health. This is a ruby crystal. Okay, so if you are all inning, you can gain a ruby crystal worth of health.
Just from popping one potion.
Just from potioning. Yeah.
And is that like the health given over time or the initial
Health given over time.
amount? Okay.
Yeah, but if you're getting all in, it's going to last 6 seconds, so,
Okay.
you know, just use
Alright,
it.
that's good to know.
Yeah, because that's an extra 60 health right there then. Okay, so like right here, see, it's just like, you, like what? Why is she not hitting you?
You know, sometimes you just can't explain human nature. Okay, so here I should have based then.
Yeah, because you only have one Q.
Okay.
And if you're not going to base, you need to pop your potion because you have to make up for your lack of mana in extra health. So look at your effective health compared to hers. Okay. You have 600 health. How much health does she have? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 health. You guys both have 600 health. She has no mana, but she's Katarina, so this doesn't matter. And you have 100 mana. You guys have the same amount of health, but she has 3 spells. You have 1, 2.
Okay.
You have 2 spells right here, see? That's all you have. She has 3 spells. So you're 2 spells, she's 3 spells. And you guys have the same health. She will always win this. Unless she's really bad, or you really outplay her, like hard. So instead, if you pop this potion, now you'd be at 700. And now she can't as easily all in you because if it extends, you might get lucky or something. Or you can walk up, take a little bit of a beating, and you just get the shove. Because when you're playing League, it's like a lot of people just look at their health bar like this as when it goes to 0, I'm dead. That's not the way you should look at it. You should look at it as a resource. So I can trade 70 health for 1 minion. Is it worth?
No.
Probably not. So that's why when people like go to, so like if Caitlyn is going to auto you when you're going to last hit, a lot of people will drop the last hit because it's not worth taking 70 health of damage for 20 gold. Right? That's just not worth in the long run. Mathematically, yes, this is worth because, well, it's like literally exactly worth because 70 health would be 140 health, which would be 40 gold, and that's pretty close to a potion, right? But you don't want to be down on health because then you have the threat of all in, and then you lose more CS because you're lower health values and all that kind of stuff. So even though like it makes sense, like if you're basing to take that trade, if you're not basing, it does not make sense. So that's why you'll see if you watch my stream when I play Ekko, I'm perfectly happy right now if I have 2 Qs. Because all I have to do is go ahead and pop my potion, and then I just say, okay, fine, you can hit my health bar all you want, because I'm going to base anyway.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. Does that kind of make sense? Where you look at your health bar as a resource as well. And you can look at like Vlad or Mordekaiser if you really need to like make a clear distinction of, oh, they literally use their health bar. But other champions use their health bar too. Which is why if you're playing, let's say, Orianna, and the enemy is Zed. If Ori has low mana, then you'll notice if they're both the same amount of health, Zed's really happy staying in lane because Zed's all-in pressure is very high. So Zed taking that trade is worth it. Or if you look at Syndra, for example, if Syndra auto trades, she's okay with it because she says, hey, the threat of you dying is high, or the risk of you dying is higher than the risk of me dying because I have my stun where my jungler can then follow up, or hey, I have this slow. So pretty important, kind of a long tangent, but health trading is super, super, super important. Okay, why do you choose to go Frost Queens?
I guess because I first saw it on St. Killian's stream, and I tried it out for about a month or so, and I guess I like it better than Proto Belt.
Why?
I guess because I like the stats the item gives. I like the active. It provides good engage and disengage.
The stats are actually worse.
Okay.
So the reason St. Killian does it is because he's relying on pushing and making picks in the mid game. Do you do that? And answer that honestly. Don't just say, yeah, I do it.
I guess it depends on how the laning phase, or well, I guess since Ekko doesn't really have a laning phase.
That's why you can do it, because he does not have a laning phase.
I guess yeah, I feel like it depends, I guess, on
okay, so I guess we'll just look at it this game, and we'll see if you do it this game. Because if you don't do that, the item sucks.
Okay.
That is like, it just does. And also, you get back to base at 5:13, okay? This is pretty important. You don't leave base until 5:26. 5:27, 5:28, 5:29. Okay.
I spent too long in base.
You're in base for 16 seconds.
Okay. Oh, that's a lot of time.
This is 1/2 of minion wave.
Okay.
Because one minion wave takes 30 seconds to get from base to the middle of the lane. So you literally just missed 1/2 of a minion wave of wave control. And you might have caught that experience right there. Actually, you wouldn't have caught that experience. But if you hover back over mid, we'll see how much you lose. There are 3 casters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You miss 1 caster and 1 melee. You would not have missed that melee minion. Which that may not seem like much. But 1 melee minion, it adds up really fast.
Okay.
And then
that's interesting. I never really took into account
and then
how
right
much
there,
time I spend in base.
You see how much health you just lost? You just lost 240 health for no reason, other than you took so long in base. Because you would have had more control over the wave and you would have gotten there sooner.
Okay.
Why did you word this?
Honestly, I guess no. I worded it for no particular reason. I guess that's just a habit. I guess I've just had. I guess I guess I've never really, thought of like active warding.
So this will be a large trend
out of that habit.
During this VOD review. Is everything you do needs to be active. Okay? Because when I asked you level 1, what are you doing with the wave? I wasn't saying like, oh, you're doing it incorrectly. I'm just asking, hey, what are you doing? Because you can manage the wave in different ways. Yeah. So if you were watching a little bit earlier, I was playing Corki against Talia, and my jungler was Shaco, and their jungler was Ivern. And I said, hey, I don't want to push. And I really can't push in Talia, but I'm going to try anyway. Because I know for a fact that Ivern will try to go and steal my jungler's second buff. So I actively push the wave. Now let's say instead of their jungler was Ivern, it was Lee Sin. Well, I'm not going to push anymore because then the threat of getting all-in'd by Talia and Lee Sin is very high. So I don't need to push. And level 1, I asked you, hey, what are you doing? And you said pushing to ward.
Okay.
But you don't have a ward. So not that pushing is the wrong choice. It's just you need to actively make your decision.
Yeah.
For everything. So like right now, okay? Where would you place this ward? Actually, let's assume you don't walk here. Let's assume you're back here. Or I'll just rewind so it's easier for you to see. What should you be doing right now?
Okay, so... Alright, so...
Take in
what should I be
everything
doing
of the
right
map.
now?
Yeah, everything on the map. You hovered over your top laner like 100 times. Okay, so
Yeah.
you should know a lot about top lane.
Okay. Well, top lane's being pushed in by the Yasuo pretty hard. Our bot lane is pushing, and they have the Scuttle Crab in the river. But
Okay.
other than that, we don't even have really any vision at all in our even in our own jungle.
You do have information though.
Mhm.
Do you know where their jungler is? Because I know where their jungler is.
I do
Without
not know where the
without
jungler is.
seeing their jungler, I know where their jungler is. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you everything that I see at this exact moment in the game. Okay, because this is what I'm doing passively in my mind while all this is going on. So you know, I don't get to sit there and pause the game. But
Okay.
this is what I'm doing in my head. Okay, I'm almost level 6. My bottom lane's pushed in. I can push this wave. I can go bottom and dive. Cool.
Okay.
That's one option. Okay, second option. The wave's fresh. I have enough time to go over here, drop this ward, not here, but like in the pixel brush. So pixel brush. And return to lane before this can be pushed in. I can do that. Okay, but I don't really care about that ward because their jungler is bottom side. It's 6 minutes. He started bottom side. It's 6 minutes. He's going to be bottom side. Because that's how it works.
I guess, is that because, is that when the buffs respawn?
That's when his camps respawn, yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because I remember you said that in the other Ekko VOD review, and actually I did not know that.
yeah, so he's gonna do like red, wraiths, blue, scuttle, over here. Okay, so now if you look, his bottom side is going to be respawning around this time. His wraiths and his grump, and their top laner is pushed in. Or sorry, their top laner is pushing. So Graves should be bottom because your bottom lane is pushing. Yeah. So
Okay.
I have no information on the jungler, but logically, I'm going to assume people are thinking logically. I should know where the jungler is. What else could I do? I could sit here, let him go into me, and then try to all in him. I could do that. I could think about it. So far from this, I've gathered one idea of ward top. You could ward bottom too, but so I guess I'll put that as a subset, but you don't need to. So instead you could ward like here to protect Infernal. 2, I could push.
You say to ward that bush to protect Infernal, like why not ward? Or I guess you don't need to ward the pit itself since the Scuttle Crab is already there, I guess, right?
Well, yeah. But
Okay.
if you... Here, let me switch really quick. If you ward this... Okay, you see what vision you gain?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
You see it?
Yes.
You gain this. I'll outline it. Okay, so if that's warded, how is Graves going to get to Dragon?
I guess, assuming he wants to get the dragon.
I
mean, he
well,
can
I
just
don't know.
dash over the wall.
Okay, so can Graves solo Dragon at 6 minutes?
No, he cannot.
Okay, so you know, like you don't need to actually have this warded. Because if you ward this, it effectively wards Dragon. Because no Graves is going to come here and dash over this wall like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he could, but like your bottom lane is pushing in. So it doesn't really make sense. And then you're Ekko, so you have a rotation 24/7. Okay, so you could do that. You could ward, you could push, you could try to all in, you could try to dive bottom, you could go gank top. Those are your options,
Okay.
basically. You could invade their jungle, but you don't have your jungler, so you shouldn't do that. See how I just outlined all those options and how those
Yes.
are. Okay, so you need to be thinking actively about those options and say, which one is the best one for me to win?
Okay.
And if you don't know which one's the best one, that's fine. Just choose the one that gives you the highest chance of not losing.
Okay.
And that's important because you can make decisions that even if they don't give you the highest chance of winning, they give you a high chance of not losing. Okay, so
Mhm.
if you're I did this in my last game, okay? If you go bottom lane like this, right? You go gank bottom lane. And then you're blue side and you want to come back to lane. And they pushed you in. Well, if you come back here, what is a high like which way should I go? Should I go this way? Should I go this way or should I go this way? I could go any of them. It just depends on
Mhm.
where they're positioned and which gives me
Yeah.
the highest chance or where do I lose the least? Okay, so, if they start walking this way, well then fine, I can take this arrow. And I know it's the same color, I'm sorry. I could take this arrow. If they're
Okay.
sitting right here, can I necessarily take this arrow? No.
Yeah.
So I might have to do this. And that's fine. Just make that choice because let's say you go like this, right? And then their jungler is right here. And then you guys all in and then their jungler's there and you die. If you just take this path, that doesn't happen.
Okay.
So you see how, yeah, it sucks you give some creeps, but like it's just a lower risk play. Pretty
That
important
makes
to
sense.
do. So, yeah. That word, like I said, it sucks. You should read the vision guide that I put out. Pretty good overall. Some basic stuff, but
Yeah.
it'll
I
solve
guess I
problems like
did
that.
I did read wait, have I read the Oh no, I was thinking the creep guide.
Okay, so you just missed 4 creeps on that wave. Sorry, you can
Mhm.
continue though. What were you saying?
Oh no, I think I might have I guess no, I have I read both guides, the vision guide and the was it the wave management guide, but yeah, I guess it's just one of those things for like when I actually get into these games, I guess like yeah, I guess I just don't think about these things.
So I'm like not even gonna BS you. That is the biggest
Mhm.
difference between players that are really good at this game and players that get stuck in their elo.
Mhm.
It's because when I lose a game, okay, I understand why I lost the game and
Yeah, and
what I could have
I don't
done
understand
better.
that.
And that's a skill you need to develop because
Okay.
if you seriously want to get good at League of Legends, you need to say, hey, what was the most optimal play there and why did I not do it? Why am I playing? That's
Mhm.
kind of a misleading question, but looking at the game as just a game will get you to basically as far as your mechanics are, or as far like it doesn't take you very far. Is the point?
Mhm.
Once you start thinking about the game as a game of chess, where every move matters, the game gets significantly easier once you develop the skill set to do so. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
at first it's going to be hard because, okay, you have to think about every mini wave. Is this the right thing to push? Why am I pushing this?
Mhm.
You have to think about your skills. Oh, okay, I'm playing a new champion. Can I zone here versus zone here? Do
Yeah.
I need to use a skill for damage? Do I need to hold the ability? Is it a blitzcrank Q? Does it? If I
Mhm.
pull them, what happens? Um, those are all some really important questions. And if you're able to apply stuff like that, you will start to climb because you're going to start looking at the game and more than just a game.
Yeah.
And I know that's really weird to say, right? Well, it's just a video game. Well, yeah, it is just a video game. But you can choose to be really good at the video game by knowing everything about it,
Mhm.
or you can just be a regular player. And that's fine
Okay.
too. But that's how you seriously improve at the game, is stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I guess because I
Um,
remember you were saying before, like, don't play against the champions, play against the minions. But I guess as I've said before, like I'm just not thinking like that. Like I'm thinking about playing against the the champions and the players themselves versus playing with the actual, I guess, nuances of the game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a mindset that's pretty easy to get stuck in, honestly. But the best players, that's not how they think. And if somebody wants to become one of those really good players, that's a way you need to learn how to think.
Okay.
And then Lucifer just asked, is it weird that I don't think about what I do in League consciously? Yes and no. It depends. Because when I'm playing the game, I don't think actively about every little thing because I've already done it 100 times. So it's nature, right? So if my team gets aced and I'm split pushing, I don't say, oh shoot, do I need to back? Do I need to stay? Do I need to back? Do I need to stay? I just say, well, I can't solo defend, so I'm just going to keep pushing. And I know that. I already know that answer. Like, as it happens, I say, well, I've already experienced this 100 times. I know exactly what to do. And that's why players get so good, because they've experienced the situations and they say, yes, I did this incorrectly before. I learned, and I know what I should do now. So if you saw in the TSM versus C9 game, like the finals of the last split, did you watch those?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you saw that C9 lost a dragon fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did they immediately do when they decided we can't win this? They went and they pushed mid. That's what they did. Because they said, we can't win here. We're going to go somewhere else, try to stall some time, and all that. But guess what? If they hadn't experienced a situation very similar to that before, they would be like, do we base? Do we fight? What do we do? What do we do? But instead, they already know what to do because they've experienced that. They've, that's their job. And it's really, really important to know. So I'm going to go ahead and continue because I ranted on a little bit. But you missed 4 creeps there.
No, that's no problem.
So you have to know your champion because you can't do that.
Yeah.
You should know that around this level, you cannot clear a minion wave efficiently like that. So instead, wait for the minions to get hit a little bit more. Don't waste your mana by jumping in.
Okay.
Your mana and your cooldown, because right there you just saw Graves was there.
Yeah.
Well, what if he was like actually collapsing on you?
That would have been screwed.
You get punished. Yeah, you literally wasted your ability because we saw Ekko. I mean, we saw Yasuo go like above you, so you knew you weren't gonna hit it. Okay, so this was a point I was going to give up or say I just wanted to wait to see what happened. Why were you going top lane?
I guess no really specific reason. I guess I was just trying to, relieve pressure off my top laner since he's been pushed in pretty much what time it
7
since
minutes.
he's been pushed in for about 7 minutes, so I guess I was just seeing if I could get off an effective roam and just help him, I guess.
Okay, how did you know that she was being pressured?
Because he was being pushed in, or Sejanani was being pushed in virtually to the turret for the entirety of the game so far.
But how do you know you can help her?
I do not know.
Why do you not know? It's a trick question because you didn't use your camera. So
Yeah,
you were just walking top and you didn't look at their health values. You didn't look at what cooldowns are being used. Granted, Yasuo doesn't really have cooldowns, but you didn't have any information to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like even though I've been like, yeah, I'm still not really comfortable playing with a locked camera. Like, I really don't know how to utilize it properly. I've been playing with like I've been playing it locked pretty much since I started. So only for like the past month or so I've been playing with unlocked.
So if you look the way I stream, I play unlocked frequently, but I unlock when I need information, or if I'm playing something like Ezreal who needs to play unlocked. And that's fine to do. You just hit Y, and then you click somewhere. And when you want to move the camera back to you, you hit spacebar or Y again. But you didn't have any information, right? And
Yeah.
look at this, okay? You leave lane at 6:28. Okay. You you just missed about 50 seconds of minion experience. Then you gain 1 wave. And now you miss another 15 seconds of minion experience. So you just missed like 45 seconds of minion experience in gold. And that could easily be solved by you just looking at the top lane.
Okay.
Because then you'll say, okay, I can't go up there. Sejuani's low on health. How did I know that? Well, I looked down in the corner because you weren't looking for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, I'm also looking here. Okay, yeah, he's pushing in, but is Sejuani freezing? I don't know. She could be freezing. You know, like, I don't know if she is or was. Probably not, but she could have been. For all you know, because you don't know. Because you didn't look. Try to get your turn Q to hit. Does a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
yeah, that was pretty messy.
So if we look at this. Okay. Okay, you see your junglers around mid. Why do you use your abilities?
I guess I wasn't. Yeah, this is a really bad habit of mine. Like sometimes I don't pay attention to where my own jungler is.
Okay, so how can you make a good play if you don't have the information?
You can't.
You can't. So I'm going to keep repeating myself because I think it's really important. If you're not actively thinking about the game, you deserve to lose.
Okay. I think that's fair.
Like, why do you deserve to win if you're just pushing a lane AFK? You don't. Right? Because you have to say, how do I win this game? And then actually do that action. And right now, you wasting your abilities on minions is not how you win the game. Okay, now we'll go through this play. So, don't use your Q when it's at max range because you have a throwing timer.
Yeah.
You won't have a cast time, and then you have the time in which it takes to travel there. So, that's not going to do anything. Okay, use your E4, which is fine. Okay, then you go to Katarina. Okay, as soon as you eat a Katarina, you need to be hitting this. This is a bulkier damage. Because if you hit this, then you get movement speed, you get third hit, and you just get to control the fight.
Okay.
Okay, so you should be pathing, instead of auto-attacking her, you should be here. Because this will proc your hit, and yes, you can walk there. Or even if you just walk here, it'll still clip her. And then you get unlimited auto-attacks, because you got the movement speed. But see, like, you miss the Q, so she would be now significantly lower health. Okay, you still have your camera unlocked. Or sorry, locked. So you can't see anything because your HUD is on the largest setting.
It's not locked, but I have a bad habit of pressing the space bar when.
Well, okay, you're right. It's not locked, but it's locked because you're not moving.
Yeah.
And you have your HUD on the max. Why do you have your HUD on the max?
On the max?
Yeah, look how big it is. Why is it so big?
I guess that's the default HUD, so I just stuck with that.
Shrink it. You get more information.
Oh, I didn't know you could shrink it actually, so.
Yeah, like you know, you can read this if this goes like this. You can still read 5.
Oh.
More information because your HUD would be like this instead.
Okay, that's good to know.
which
I did
is
not know you could actually
like,
shrink the size of it.
significantly smaller. Look, this is like
Okay.
literally having the size. But whatever. That's a small thing. People's
hmm
preferences, but I think you should always have it on the smallest, but whatever. Okay, and then why do you use your W?
I guess because I use it there because I figured Katarina would try to, since she's pretty low health, that she would try to retreat, and then I could E into it and possibly proc a stun off.
Okay, but look at the way the people are standing. If she's retreating, which you don't know if she's retreating because you didn't move your camera
I
and your
can't
HUD
see
is
it.
massive, you place your stun here. Katarina has like 20% health. Why would she ever jump on this other than she's mentally handicapped? Can you, like, legitimately, can you give me a reason? Because I can't think of one.
No, I cannot think of a reason.
Okay. So, what does this stun get you? Nothing. Because you should assume that she has a brain and she isn't going to do that. So you just wasted 50 mana and a 22-second cooldown, or 20-second cooldown. This is a long time.
Yes.
Just don't waste the cooldown.
Okay.
Okay, and let's say she decides to go in, which for whatever reason she does. At this point, why have you not used your E?
I guess I can't really give a proper reason why.
Right, because there is no reason. So look,
Mhm.
your E is up right now. Guess when I'm Eing? Right now.
I guess. Okay.
Because look, if you E here, you can flash here,
And
and then jump to him. Maybe even Katarina if you flash like here.
okay, that makes sense.
And then better yet, if you position properly, you're not like messing around over here. When you're significantly more healthy with alt and flash and potion, and you're just like sitting over here instead, or like,
Yeah.
where you are now, like 3 seconds ago, you kill both of them easily.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I think I mentioned that earlier. That like I tend to pretty much play really scared, really passively. So. Yeah, I guess.
Well, do you see how you could have played it now?
Yes, I do.
And you see how you could probably kill both of them without even using flash?
Yes.
Because if you're here 3 seconds earlier, then you're here, then you E here, and then you E there again. Right, so
Okay.
then you just like transfer
Yep.
the drawing. So instead of needing the flash to get there, you're already there.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then if you're a passive player, you can't be a passive player. Because you're not going to make the mistakes and then learn.
hmm
It's like, do you know the average scrim time of an LCS team?
I do not.
It's about 20 minutes.
Just 20 minutes.
Yep. Do you know why?
I guess because they go incredibly aggressively
Yeah.
to try and learn.
Yeah, to learn their limit. So they can do the maximum they can possibly do on their champions.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
if they lose, who cares? It's a scrim. It doesn't matter. They just need to practice and get better, right? That's their job.
Mhm.
So when you're playing League, is your goal to climb elo or is it to get better?
Is to get better.
Why?
I guess because if I get better, then that means I can
Then
climb more
the elo comes
efficiently.
with. Exactly.
Yes.
So who cares if you make a mistake and you lose? The important thing is making that mistake and then learning why that wasn't properly done.
hmm
Yeah, it sucks when you make a mistake and then you lose the game because of it. But guess what?
hmm
I would rather lose every single game because it's my fault, because I can identify what I did wrong, than lose a game because, oh, I had an AFK. Oh, because my bottom lane is 0-15 and then my top laner decides to give up on the game. I would seriously rather lose every single game because I inted, because at least I learned something that way.
That
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
that's why people play aggressively in LCS scrims, or other LCS teams, and that's why you should play aggressively as well. Not to say that you should
Okay.
literally run at them level 1 and flash on them. You still play intelligently, but you know, make a mistake,
Just
you
try
make
to
a
learn
mistake.
your limits, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so let's say you flash here, then you misjudge your E range. I guarantee you're not going to misjudge your E range again, because you just looked like an idiot if you do that, right? And then you're gonna say,
Oh,
"Wow,
yes.
I never want that to happen again." And then you're gonna
Okay.
be more intelligent about it. Make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Oops. Okay, and you don't have to ult if you don't get in the turret.
Okay.
And then you're not gonna kill him there, so it doesn't matter if you go in. So don't go in.
Okay.
Okay. Your camera is seriously irritating because
Uh,
look at this, okay?
I can't see anything.
You can't see anything. Okay? You can't see. How much health does this guy have? Do you know?
No, I did not.
Okay. How much health does Dragon have? Do you know?
No, I did not.
Okay. Are you enjoying the look of this ward?
No.
How about this cummy over here?
Yeah, this is like what? Yeah, I'm not comfortable at all playing on an unlocked screen yet.
How about this rock? Do you like the way this rock looks?
Doesn't look that bad.
You know, it's a beautiful rock, but I don't care about seeing that beautiful rock right now. Okay?
Mhm.
So, like, you can't just say my camera management is bad, because it's literally something you can work on every single game. Every single game you can work on your camera.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's like really no excuse to have bad camera management, because you play with your camera 100% of the games that you play.
Mhm.
So just learn it. You know, I don't know the best way for you to do it. I figured out my way that I like my camera to be able to get enough information while still being comfortable for me. Okay, but whatever you're doing with your camera is not the right way. So stop doing it.
Yeah.
Because you don't get any information. And I don't know, like, do you need to hold spacebar? Do you use spacebar?
Yeah, I do it a lot.
Because I haven't seen you use spacebar. Like, you know, because there's an arrow that comes up over your head. Like, I haven't seen this arrow.
Huh. Interesting. Actually, I did not know that. Um,
Just hold it. Don't just press it.
okay.
Because then it'll be like a locked camera.
Mhm.
Or, you know, how many times do you fling your mouse to the side to move your camera? Have you ever? I honestly don't think you have.
I think I've done small jerky movements, but other than that, not really a whole lot.
Yeah. So you really have to practice your camera management, because
Mhm.
this is how you get so much information. And like we discussed earlier, how can you make an educated decision if you don't have information?
It can't.
Yeah. So that's something that you really need to fix, because that's where literally all of your gameplay stems from. Because, yeah, like, you adjusted your camera immediately after I said that.
Mhm.
But you went in before that.
Yeah.
So how do you know if that was the case you should have gone in? And then, what is this W?
Um, that's a good question. I guess I was thinking that Graves would possibly get greedy, and I could catch him out. I think I was also maybe trying to go for the shield. to protect myself from the misfortune ult.
Yeah, but he has like
Um,
200 health.
I it is also a high possibility that was just a random cast to.
Okay, so you should never random cast an ability.
Mhm.
Okay, where should you W now that we just talked about this?
Um, not use it.
No, you should use it. Where should you use it?
Um, I do not know.
Okay, where is Graves gonna go?
Um, he's probably gonna dash over the wall to the left side of the river.
Okay, he can't dash this wall, it's too big.
Okay. Um,
So if you look at the terrain, where is he gonna go?
I mean, really, he could only go back to the dragon pit, but
Wait, what? He can go this way.
oh, okay. I was overcomplicating that.
There's two. Okay, there's three directions he
Mhm.
can go. Okay, which one makes the most sense?
I guess the initial decision, up the river.
Yeah. Why would he go into your jungle? He wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
Okay, so that one doesn't make sense. Why would he run into three of you guys?
He wouldn't
He wouldn't. So where can he only go?
up the river.
Up the river. Okay, so if he's going up the river, you know this is going to be his path. Like, 100% he is going to take this path. But there is no if, and, or but. Like, he's going to walk it. So where should you now place your W? Knowing where he's going to go.
I guess further up the river.
Yeah, further from where he is. And this is your W range, by the way. You can cast this.
Okay.
So you see, you will be able to clip him on there and at least get the slow. You should never, like, ever W on top of where somebody is. Because it's an ability that you have to predict, like,
Yeah.
you use in advance. And then also, use your potion. The fight's been going on for, like, 15 seconds. Use your potion. That's a whole nother full health bar. Or rather, ruby crystal.
Yeah. I guess I vastly underestimate the power of potions a lot.
Like, see, you won't be, like, 10 health anymore. You'd be, like, what? 300 health. Big difference. Okay. Okay. So, let's relook at this. Okay, you are 220 health.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much damage Katarina Q does?
A lot of damage.
Enough that if she Qs you and autos you, you die.
Yeah.
You have no ult.
I guess my thought was, I guess, try to help get Caitlyn out. Is what I was thinking.
Okay, but just minimize your losses. If Caitlyn's dead, Caitlyn's dead. Two of you dying is worse than one of you dying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how are you going to kill Katarina that has 60% health when you have 20% health and Q and E?
I guess I didn't really think that far.
Right, so you have to think further.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you potion, right now, like I mentioned, you would have 330 health or so, 340.
Mm-hmm.
And you would not be doing extra damage, okay? But look at Katarina's health. You would get that extra auto, she would die. If you had an extra 100 health right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, is that not true? Somebody just mentioned that it might not be true. Actually, that might not be true. Because it already ran out. So maybe not necessarily. But if you use it sooner, it's better than using it later. So my mistake if that's not actually accurate. And then... Oh yeah, why did you sit... Like, you could have flashed. Probably. So maybe not. But I'm like 100% sure you don't have to die there. So don't die there.
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing I'm 100% sure of is you do not need to die. Um, yeah.
Okay.
So this wave's pushing in. What should you do right now?
I guess be roaming, getting vision. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't even get vision because I don't have wards.
Okay, so you see the wave. What does this mean to you right now?
Um, it's gonna be pushing in because I have more casters. I have twice as many casters as the enemy wave right now.
Okay. You see how it's already bouncing off the turret?
Yes. Or no, I do not.
It's already getting hit. Right here.
Okay, is that what it mean? Is that what you mean by bouncing off?
Well, by bounce I mean all this is gonna be in here, and then it's gonna come like this and
Okay.
bounce.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so you see how it's already hitting the turret.
Yes.
Okay, look at where the mini wave is. Do you know where the next mini wave is? How far out it is? Because I do.
I do not.
It's 25 seconds away. How do I know that?
I guess.
Look at the map.
Oh yeah, look, you're on mini wave.
That means their mini wave is right here. So now you have over 25 seconds. Okay, well actually, okay, so let's count this out. You have 1, 2, this is going to die, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 turret shots, which is going to be roughly 26 seconds. And then the waves are going to meet. So you have 26 seconds plus an extra 3 seconds for this to go like this. You have 30 seconds. I know that's not what that adds up to. You have 30 seconds to do something on the map.
Mm-hmm.
From this point right now, where can you go?
Okay, well, I don't have any wards, so I can't really get any vision.
Okay, why do you not have wards?
Um, I didn't buy any control wards.
Why?
I did not think about buying control wards.
You have 300 gold that's sitting here doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is 3 control wards. Even if you don't buy 3, 2 control wards. And now you can do something with it. This gold is literally useless to you sitting in your bank. Right? Like it has 0 value. Like imagine right now you're between IE and not having IE.
Yeah.
That IE, even though you have the gold for it, has 0 value. Same thing here.
Mm-hmm.
So always,
my
always,
thought-
always buy pink wards.
Okay.
Control
I guess my thought was to save the gold for my item purchase.
But why?
That's a good question. I don't have a valid
Yeah, I mean,
reason for that.
there is no valid answer. Just buy the control wards.
Okay.
Because they're more important. So now you have about 25 seconds to do something.
And I don't do anything with that.
Because the minion wave's already in. You don't even get the experience for that minion. Okay, so they have a pink ward. What are you doing?
Oh. I thought we were doing dragons, so
Right, but your team pinged you away.
yeah.
And why are you tanking dragon?
I guess I wasn't really thinking about it. My initial thought in that situation was to clear the control ward.
Okay, but dragon's gonna reset right now.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming you don't touch it. So does killing the control ward matter?
No.
Okay, because they already backed off. If you look at the map, Misfortune has you guys pushed in. Katarina can rotate down.
Yeah, and we have no vision as well.
And you have no vision of their jungler or their top laner. And to settle the argument in chat, a pink ward is infinitely better than a fairy charm. A pink ward is infinitely better than a Doran's Ring. Okay, so like I said, you lose all of your health, or no, sorry, half of your health and all of your cooldowns. See, at this point, your team's not with you.
Yeah, I'm all alone.
You're all alone, sitting here doing dragon yourself. Why?
No reason whatsoever.
Exactly. So that's seriously like I said earlier, it's gonna be a common trait of this VOD review. Is you see how there's no reason for the things you're doing. You're not doing things with a purpose. You're just doing things.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get a double kill here, but you play this fight like really badly, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. What is this W?
I guess, well, given my magnificent camera mechanics, I guess I was hoping to catch the Graves.
How do you know you can catch the Graves?
I do not know.
You don't know.
Because
Okay.
I can't see him.
Because you can't see him. Okay, so this W makes no sense. And Graves is going to dash over the wall anyway, so you're not going to catch Graves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this W sucks. Okay, put it in the pit. First off, you lose like I don't know, an eighth of your W to this wall.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You see how it's like, if you outline the circle, you just lose like an eighth of it. So I mean it's a little bit less, but like.
Mm-hmm.
So that sucks. Second off, you're not going to catch Graves here. You're going to zone the Katarina from being here for like a quarter second, but it doesn't matter. You're aiming for their support. Makes no sense, okay? Now, you use 2 of your abilities on their support. You miss your Q.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, he's never going to run this way ever. He's never...
Yeah.
If I draw his paths again, he's never going to run the blue, ever. He will only run the pink.
Mm-hmm.
So don't throw your Q on the blue. Throw it on the yellow. Right, because you can see him. And then you use your E on him as well. Can you kill this guy with your E?
No.
Why are you using your ability on him then?
I guess he was the closest target, so I just wanted to hit something.
Okay. You hitting him does not matter. In the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
you hitting or killing Blitzcrank does not matter compared to this Infernal, compared to this Graves.
Okay.
So don't hit him. Actually, this will be really beneficial, I think. I'm going to go back to the start. It's 10:23. Okay, so I want you to ignore this guy and ignore this guy. And I'm going to draw a picture for you. Okay? So this is Camille.
Alright.
This is Camille. This is Scion. This is Jinx. Okay, it's a 3v3. And you guys are in a straight line, just like them. Ekko. Let's say Sivir. And then, I don't know, top laner, Maokai. Okay. Which one do you go on?
The Jinx.
Why?
Because she's the squishiest target, but she also does the most amount of damage.
Okay. And there's one more.
Camille.
No, there's one more reason that you go on Jinx.
I guess, is it to burn her summoners?
No. It's because you can get to her.
Oh, okay.
All 3 of these guys are in one line, just like you guys. You're able to get to her. Okay, so now let's stagger this. Let's say this is Scion, this is Camille, this is Jinx. And you guys are line again. Which one do you go for?
I guess I imagine you would still want to go for the Jinx, but you
Yes,
can't effectively get to her.
because you're Ekko, you would still go for Jinx. Let's replace your champion with Orianna.
Hmm.
Okay, who do you go for now that you're Orianna?
I guess would it be Camille? Or would you have the range to get to Jinx?
No, you're Orianna.
Okay. I guess would you go for Camille?
Yes, when you can. Because you would
Okay.
have to look at Scion Q, you would have to look at Camille E, and you have to know about Camille's R.
Okay.
So you pay attention to these abilities, and when you can safely hit Camille, you will hit Camille. Does you hitting Scion matter?
Not really.
No. When Camille's E and R is up, who do you hit?
When her E and R up. Is her E the hook shot ability?
Yes, that is how she grapples the
Okay.
walls.
Okay, I guess would you still go to Camille, like maybe to bait out those abilities?
Nope.
Dude. So would you go for a Scion then?
Yes.
Okay. Do as much damage as possible safely. Okay.
How much damage do you do when you're dead?
That's a good question. I don't think you really do a whole lot when you're dead.
Exactly. So if you go for the Jinx, what is going to happen to you?
You're probably gonna die.
You are going to die immediately. What's going to happen if you go for the Camille when Scion Q is up, Camille's E is up, and her R is up as well?
You're gonna die.
You're going to die immediately. Now, what happens when Camille uses her E on your tank?
Then she has no mobility, so you can damage her.
Now she has Flash R, so you have to consider that still.
Okay.
But if you're over here, how does Scion Q hit you?
It can't.
It doesn't. How does Camille get to you? She Flash R's you.
Yeah, Flash
now,
R's.
Now this compromises her position. Okay, so if we redraw the dots, she Flash R's you, she's here, then she's here. Okay, so now they're on a triangle shape, right? You can hit Jinx just as easily as you can hit Scion now.
Okay.
And then you have your team members as well. Okay, so do you get the point of that exercise?
Yes.
It's to show that you want to hit the highest priority target that you can while staying safe.
Okay.
When you're assassin, you pretty much only want to go for the squishy. Okay, so you should be
Okay.
flanking and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a trick question with assassins. But the point is, should you be hitting Blitzcrank?
No, I should not.
Okay, Blitzcrank is Scion in this situation. Okay, so if we redraw it, literally we will redraw this exact situation, you'll see. Okay. Graves is here. Let me just switch colors. Graves is here. Blitzcrank is here. Misfortune's here. You see that triangle?
Yes.
It's that same exact triangle that we just had. Basically the same triangle. Okay? And you can hit... You're here. You can hit Graves, or you can hit Blitzcrank. Which one's a higher priority?
Graves.
Graves. Okay, so we go for Graves. Right, and I know I'm kind of babying you, but like... These are the things that like I'm actively thinking about when I'm playing the game.
I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious from this game that I'm just like, I'm not even a robot. I'm just like a sponge. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not thinking about really anything at all. I guess I'm just doing.
Okay, why do you alt right now?
I guess I thought, I think it was probably just instinctual. I think it probably goes back to my, I guess I just figured I was gonna possibly die, so.
You had 400 health. We saw Graves Q. How do you die?
I don't know.
You don't die.
I guess I just.
Right, because that takes Graves at least 3 to 4 to 5 auto attacks to kill you. So you don't need to alt.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about it. I guess it was just something I was doing to get out of the pit, I guess.
Okay, so you teleported a lane. Cool. I think that's the first time you used teleport
Yes, it is.
at 12 minutes. So always use your teleport. Um, it's literally been a useless summoner spell for you because you've used it once at 12
Hmm.
minutes. Okay, you have 50. You had 53 CS at 10 minutes.
And I have 58 at 12.
You've gained 5 CS in 2 minutes. Granted, there was just a fight, but still, your CS at the start, 53 at
Terrible.
53 at 10 on a champion like Ekko is overall not that
Yeah.
great. Now, let me clarify that with if you're impacting other lanes and roaming and you're just hard shoving the wave, that's great. You know, if you get 2 kills
Hmm.
bottom, you get bottom turret, you guys secure 1 kill and get dragon, okay, fine.
Hmm.
But you've
But I haven't
literally
been doing that at all.
done nothing on the map so far. So that's why your CS sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, look at all this information you're getting right now. Okay, she
Hmm.
used XYZ. We saw she got binded or bound. That's a lot of information. You don't even need to roam down here, okay? Because she got
Okay.
bound. Once you're here, you can literally just turn around. Because
Okay.
you just waste another 8 seconds going here.
Hmm.
That's 8 seconds of not getting experience and not getting gold. Now, if we
And
add that
now I
from
have no
earlier,
information on where Katarina is either.
yeah. If we add that to earlier, okay, now that's been almost a whole minute that you've been in lane. Or sorry, that you've not been in lane.
Hmm.
For no reason. Like 100% preventable not being in lane. If you're going to wait for somebody, wait for them here. If you
Okay.
walk like this, they can't see you because you can't see if you're on that same line because it cuts
Hmm.
vision. Nobody is going to walk here because that same situation where I explained earlier, where you could walk like this or you could walk like this. Which
Yeah.
one has a higher chance of making you lose the game?
Walking straight down the
Walking
river.
straight. So why would you do it? You're not
Because
thinking.
sometimes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's the only reason you would do something like that. So you just have a higher chance of making that play work if you do it properly. What is that W?
Um, that's a good question. I have no.
Right, yeah. So just don't use it. Right? Because you put it on cooldown, there's no reason to put it on cooldown. Okay.
Oh yeah. So we
So
just got baited.
no. So first off, if you want to go here, what is the
Mhm.
fastest route to there?
Um, come around the other side of the river and then E across the wall.
Yes. Okay, so look at this wall. You have a cheat thing, okay?
Hmm.
Look at all this distance that you can cover. Okay?
Yeah.
Instead of sitting AFK here for like 4 seconds, walk over here. You see how it's the same thing of you sitting
Yeah.
AFK here to you walking here. Now you can jump over this, ward this, jump here, insta kill him.
Okay.
Okay. And then further. Okay.
Oh wait, we saw Kat.
We see Katarina, which is
Yeah.
fine. You guys can still win this or trade 1 for 1. But you don't hit the right target.
Yeah.
You hit
I think
Katarina.
I meant to E Yasuo, but I think I accidentally clicked on Katarina.
Yeah, so you click on Katarina when Yasuo was on top of you, so you could have clicked on him there. Or you could attack move, by the way.
Attack move?
Yeah, it'll click the nearest target to you.
I have not heard of that actually.
It's a key binding that you can bind.
Oh, okay.
It's really useful. Highly recommend you use it.
Okay.
And then you like throw your Q on
Mhm.
the angle that makes no sense. I saw it. You tried to EQ cancel, but you messed up.
Yeah.
So if you EQ, it goes along from here to here. Okay, but instead you waited till your E was done and then you Q'd. But because your camera was locked at that time, it switched your position so that it went like this.
Mhm.
So again, that's camera management. And then clicking the right stuff. And then you're full health. Why are you ulting out?
I got scared. And
But how do you die?
I guess because
If you're
I
full
played that
health, how do you
terribly.
die? No. Like,
Um,
how do you... Right now, how do you die?
I guess how do I die?
At this point.
I can't really, other than getting hit by Katarina cues.
Right. Okay, so you ult out. Okay. If your reason is you're ulting out to get away, why are you moving back towards them?
I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So you ulted away and then you just gave yourself negative distance.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense. Do one or the other. Like, you have to pick one. You either stay in and then ult for damage, or you ult out and then you leave. But you doing both gets you killed.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't thinking at all.
Okay, and then the thing we talked about at Katarina, okay? We see this here. Why are you walking here? Because you know that isn't the actual range of her dagger, right? Like, it spins around this, so it's like this. No.
Oh no, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, so she can jump anywhere in here, and then wherever she lands, she will trigger another circle.
Oh.
So like this,
Okay.
like this, like this. Okay, so you're literally just walking like in her circle.
Okay, I did not know that.
Pretty much picture it like this. Like, it's a little bit less than that. It's like the appended circle. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
But yeah. So see, it still hits you. But you see how much just like ability stuff you've learned in this game? Like what you can do.
Yeah.
Knowing that stuff is like uber important. Because how can you make an educated decision if you don't understand things?
Yeah.
You can't, is the answer.
I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious just from this game that there's an incredible amount that I still have yet to understand.
So this is something that's really important to say, because a lot of people who might be in Silver 5 will say, wow, GG, my trash teammates, I can't do anything. But then, and I don't know if you have that attitude, but like, you see how...
Not really.
You see how much I've showed you, and a lot of players in your same division don't understand this stuff. So, even if it's knowing what Katarina does, that is very valuable information. Because if you don't know what a champion does, you can't make an educated decision. Okay, so if you ever want to blame your team, just remember this VOD review. Because this is just from one game of stuff, right? And I haven't gone over everything even. Like, hey, why have you not been to a side lane at 15 minutes as Ekko?
Okay.
Why did you not roam?
Yeah.
Why did you not dive bottom lane? Why did you not do this? Why did you not do that? There's infinitely more things that I can discuss about this game. But I've been focusing on the more obvious points because those are the ones that you'll probably see the most success in. And harping on the same things, because if I try to spread too much information, you're going to get none of it. Like, It's just all going to go over your head. So that's why I'm harping on the, hey, look how important your camera is. Hey, why are you doing this? It doesn't make sense to do this. Instead of focusing on all the extra stuff. So just keep that in mind as the game goes through. Okay. This W is fine because she should move, but she doesn't. Okay? But she's not moving. How do you misclick her?
That's a good question. I guess I'm just bad.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
click on her.
I think I meant to click on her, but I think I have no.
Well, I mean, I'd hope you mean to click on her, but it's like, I hope that I'm rank 1, but I'm not. Right? Like,
Yeah, that was just
okay, you literally just ran across the entire map. Why? Why are you not getting that melee minion as it's dying?
Because I'm not really thinking.
Okay, so
I
you have
guess
two.
that's probably the common thing.
You have two options. You can hit this minion or you can hit this minion. Why would you choose to hit this one, which is not being targeted by anything, when you can hit this one, which is being targeted? You have a 2-second window to hit this creep. You have a 10-second window to hit this creep. Doesn't it make sense to go here and then here?
I think yes, it does. I guess I just wasn't thinking about it.
I didn't bring this up for like the first 6 times, but now that it just came up again, it's like I have to bring it up. So just hit the stuff that's going to die first.
Okay.
That way you get more overall gold. Because right now you have 5 CS a minute. I mean, that depending on your level of play, that might be really good. But like, if I have 5 CS a minute in a game, I'm like, I want to die. Because imagine how much more gold you could have, okay? If you look, we'll average your gold value, okay? We have 77 CS. Okay. This puts us at 1,400 gold from CS. We're going to assume 20 CS a minion. Okay. If we have 150 CS, which is very viable by now, we would have already had 2,800 gold. Look at this. This is huge.
Yeah, that's a very noticeable difference.
This would have given you, by now, an extra, let's say, needlessly large rod and a blasting wand. You could have both if you CS'd perfectly by now. Do you know how much more damage you'd be doing by that?
A lot.
Okay, so that's 60. That's 60, 40. You have an extra 100 AP by now. That's insane. Okay, so let's assume you don't have 100 CS, or you don't have 100% CS. Okay, let's say you have 120. Okay, that would put us at like 75%-ish. Okay, so now you have, see, that's 1,400, so you would have like, I don't know, an extra 1,100 or so. You could have an extra needlessly large rod plus a book. Okay. This is an extra 75 AP.
Okay.
It's not 100, but 75.
Still more.
190 is damn a lot more than 110. So you see the difference?
Yes.
And if you just waste less time by not walking across literally the entire map, making sure you're timing your abilities properly, and all that kind of stuff, you gain a lot more. Also, why are you here when the minion's here dying? Stand here. Yasuo can't get you there.
Okay.
The difference... Okay, so if Yasuo is here and you're here, how does he get you? He doesn't. If you're here, how does he get you? He still doesn't get you.
Yeah.
But if you're here, you get this experience. If you're here, you do not.
Okay.
Okay, so you've missed so far.
Wait, so what's the distance or like the max distance
It's
you can
roughly a
be?
camera.
Roughly a camera. Okay.
Yeah, and you're just gonna have to play around with that,
All right.
just to know. But you have experience turned on. I'm pretty sure experience range. That is a thing. Well, sorry, not range, but What? Wait, why'd you W?
Wait, what?
Why'd you use your W?
What do you mean?
You just used your W.
Oh wait, oh I did.
Why did you W?
Um, I guess nope. I think that might have just been an accidental press.
Okay. But what was I saying before? Before I got distracted. Oh, experience.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if you have it on. You don't have it on. There's a setting in your game that shows you if you're getting experience or not.
Okay.
That's how you learn experience range. Why do you not have that setting on?
I did not know about it.
Okay. So again, you don't know something, right?
Mhm.
Like, see how much there just is to know about this game?
Yeah.
Okay, so taking it all, honestly, you're gonna have to rewatch this VOD because there's so much
Yeah.
for you to learn just from this one alone. So I'd highly, highly, highly recommend rewatching it, because you will learn a lot, and it'll be just like your 5th grade video when it's like, hey, you have to record a video for class, and then you're like cringing at yourself because that's how every single VOD review you do should be, because there should be that much for you to learn. Okay. You cue in the right place, okay, but he's already walking the other way.
Okay.
Normally, this is the right direction to cue. But when he already walks backwards, don't cue that way.
Okay.
Alright, like you see him walking the other way. Okay. What are you doing here right now?
I guess I'm just trying to shove out the wave so they don't, I guess, pressure the turret
Okay.
is what I was thinking of. Just making sure that we have decent side lane pressure.
Okay, well, you have not had side lane pressure, just so you know, because
Mm-hmm.
they have more turrets than you, they're higher levels than you, so all of their minions will inherently push towards you.
Okay.
You have not touched the side wave once, so you guys don't have decent side wave pressure, just to clarify.
Okay.
You haven't even neutralized side wave pressure, you personally. I mean, you just did there,
Okay.
but like, other than that, not really. Okay, so you're sitting on 1,700 gold. Why are you not based? What are you doing? Like right now, actively, what are you doing?
Actively, I guess I can't really say specifically.
Okay. Why have you not used your Frost Queen?
Um,
Use it really late there.
yeah. I think I meant to use it earlier. I think I just wasn't thinking about it.
Why do you ult away?
I thought I had been caught out, so I guess I wasn't paying attention to the relative positioning of the enemy players.
Who is going to stop you from moving right now?
No one.
Nobody. Where is Graves running?
He's running into our jungle towards Morgana.
Into your jungle. You just ult away. For like no reason, right? Like you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I just got
Like he does
scared.
20 damage to you. Then you're running away when you could be flanking them again. Okay, why are you running this way? You have 2 paths right now.
I guess I should have gone down the river.
Yes. Because then you can cut them off. You chasing behind them is not going to help you. You have to chase in front of them.
Mhm.
So chase in front.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking about that.
And your team's monkey for going in like that. Not just letting you catch them. Okay, so you see, if I were to just look at this game from the outside, right? If I were to OPGG look at this game right now, you're 5-3. You see how the OPG doesn't tell anything about the game?
Yeah.
Because there's like a million things we've talked about already that we would not have talked about if we just looked at OPGG. So that's why, like, when people are like, oh, can you give me an OPGG review? It's like, well, yeah, but like, you don't really learn anything. Because I guarantee you will take something away from this, but you wouldn't take anything away from, well, CS better.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so you got 3K gold. Why did you sell that?
The potion?
Yeah.
I guess so I could reach my death cap spike quicker.
How does that make you reach it quicker?
It lessens the overall gold value of the item.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
If it's 1,200 gold,
I guess
it's
that was
not.
my reasoning. I guess during the purchase.
If it's 1,200 gold,
Mhm.
and you have 800 gold in your inventory, how is it different from the item costing 800 gold and you having 400 gold in your inventory?
It's not really that big of a difference.
No, there isn't a difference.
Okay.
You see, look. How much more gold do you need right now?
Just 400 more.
400. How much more do you need here?
400.
400. So what you're saying right now is that the value of 15 AP in this exact moment is worth more than your refillable potion.
Yeah, I guess.
Or rather,
up until this VOD review, I guess I've just never really understood the importance of potions.
Okay, so now if you look at it,
I just never really understood their impact.
You have 3 items dedicated to building your Rabadons. Okay? What happens when you buy your Rabadons?
I want to have an extra 2 empty spaces.
You're going to have 2 empty spaces. One of those could be refillable potion. Does this 15 AP matter more in the window that... So, pretty much, what I have to ask you is, does 15 AP matter more in the next 700 gold, or base, for the long-term value of your corrupting potion?
No, it does not.
In some cases, yes. If you're fighting at Baron, it might, maybe, be worth it. Maybe. In all other cases, that corrupting potion, or rather, you not having that 15 AP, will not matter. So just don't do it, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I guess. No, it makes perfect sense.
Cool. Okay, so this is now the second time that you've answered a wave in 20 minutes. If you watch my stream when I play Ekko, you'll notice I'm almost exclusively on the side wave.
Okay.
Because you can 1v1 people on the side wave. You can't really 1v1 somebody in the mid lane.
Okay, so there's a big difference between playing mid lane versus playing the side lanes.
Yeah, because the side lanes, you can build a slow push. You can force people to respond to you. The side lanes, they're longer lanes, so people have longer to run if you engage them before they're safe. In mid lane, okay, like right now, if you would hover over mid... Okay.
Oh, God.
Holy... Okay, right now. if you're here and Katarina's here, how do you all in her? You have this much distance to all in her.
Yeah. I guess you could cast a W behind her, EN.
The point is that it's a
and
lot
Q.
harder.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if you look at a side wave,
Okay.
how much distance do you have? I know it's
A
kind of
lot
hard to see
more.
on the map, but I'm going to draw it on the map. You have from here all the way to over here.
Mm-hmm.
You have like literally like 10 times the distance to kill somebody. So you see the difference?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you push this wave in?
I guess I was just brainlessly pushing. I guess just getting that, just trying to get on the turret to pressure it.
What could you have instead have done with that wave?
I guess built up a slow push.
Yeah, so it was already slow pushing. Okay, so if you saw it, there was another wave coming in. If you don't kill all those minions, then like 3.5 waves stack on top of each other, instead of being 2.5 waves and then an extra wave later. So you get more turret pressure by not clearing the wave.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
By not fully clearing the wave.
I guess like, how do you set up? I should probably just look over the guide again. I think does that have to do with the amount of caster?
Just don't kill all the minions.
Don't
You
kill
have
all the
more
minions,
casters
okay.
than them.
Okay.
That is, people like overcomplicate it too much, because in all honesty, unless you're in pro play or like honestly not even like unless you're in a scrim, okay, it literally doesn't matter how hard you slow push it. Like it does, but like it's like at this level it doesn't.
Yeah.
All you need to know is that if you have more casters than them, it will push for the amount of waves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you have one more caster than them, it will push for one wave before resetting. Okay, if you have 3 more casters than them, it'll push for 2 waves without resetting, assuming that you're actually in mid lane, like during laning phase. Okay, outside of laning phase, if I draw it, it'll be a lot easier to explain.
Okay.
Okay, so if we take out these players from here, okay, and we have 6 minions by 6 minions. Okay, so 6 and 6. What happens? Do you know?
I guess it's just gonna stall.
It will push in one direction.
It will push in one direction.
It is semi-random. Okay, there's RNG
Okay.
on what minions target what minions, and level and turrets down.
Okay.
Okay, so if blue has more turrets down and an average higher level, it will push like this.
Okay.
And this will create a giant wave. Do you know why? Just think about minions.
I do not know why.
Okay. So these minions right here are going to be targeting these minions. These minions will die ever so slowly sooner. How do minions come? Well, minions come like this. Okay.
Yes.
This takes 30 seconds. Okay, so maybe one minion dies, and then now it's a 5v6. Or no, sorry. We'll say it's a 5v4.
Okay.
Favored towards the yellow line. Okay. Well, now 6 more minions are coming. Okay, so 6 plus 6 and plus 6. So now it's 11 versus 10. These 11 minions are going to kill one of these minions very quickly. And because it's still relatively centered, because only one extra minion died, the reinforcements will get there at the same time. So now in the next wave, it's going to turn into, let's say, 10 versus 8 left over. Okay, now 6 more minions are going to come, plus 6. And now it's going to be 16 versus 12. Wait. versus 14. Oops. And these are just example numbers. Okay, so
Yes.
okay, so now this will significantly overpower this, and then this will turn into like 8 versus 0, and then be pushing. So you see how the minion wave kind of develops?
Yeah.
Okay. Highly recommended. If you look at that minion guide, I put a video of just a quick slow push. Count the number of minions, and just watch what happens over a minute. You'll see the wave becomes massive. And granted, I touched it a little bit, but I don't meticulously. Yeah, I didn't like sit there and be like, okay, I need to kill this many minions to do this and this and this. I just pushed it. I just slow pushed it, like enacted a slow push. And that may not mean much to you now, but like the more you do it, the more you'll see, okay, I killed 3 casters. That pushed this far. That's what this means. And then next time you do it, okay, I killed 1 caster. It actually ended up resetting to me. How did that happen? Oh, well, this. So, like, you see how you just learn by doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Super
yeah,
important.
these things I just never really thought about.
I mean, and trust me, when I was a silver player, I didn't either. When I first started the game, because I know exactly the shoe you're in. And that's why I do this coaching stuff. Because I wish when I was a silver 3 player, when I first placed after like 1,000 games, I was like, I'm so excited. I don't want to get bronze. I don't want to get bronze. I don't want to get bronze. And then I placed silver 3. And I'm like, yes, I'm not bronze. I'm happy. And then I only played normals again because I was like, I'm ranked. Hell yeah. And then I decayed because decay was a thing. And then after that, I was like, oh, I don't want to ever decay again. So then I just only played ranked, and then I climbed. But it was so long. It was so hard for me to learn all this stuff because I didn't have this. And that's why I do this coaching stuff. So if you have questions, feel free to ask me.
All right.
But here, why do you go up?
That's a good question. I wasn't really thinking.
Look at the map right now.
I guess I was just going up. I guess maybe to possibly get vision on who was in the lane.
Does that matter? Or rather, is it worth the risk?
No, it is not.
Okay, so don't do it. Okay, but you step up. Are you going to kill that Blitzcrank?
My heart tells me yes.
Let's assume it's a 1v1. How long is it going to take you to kill that Blitzcrank? Let's assume we don't see Katarina, we don't see Misfortune. How long is it going to take you to kill him?
It's probably going to take a while.
How many spell rotations? Take a guess.
Spell rotations, assuming I hit all of them.
You hit EQ, and then you hit your R. And then how many more EQs does it take?
Maybe 3 more.
Okay, so 5 seconds Q, 3 seconds to hit your ult, because you cannot hit your ult without those 3 seconds. So that's 8 seconds. Now it takes 3 more Qs. We're not even counting E's. 15 seconds. It's going to take you over 20 seconds to kill this guy. Okay. That's not even including his shield. Or his flash. Or his exhaust, if he has it. So you Wing him does not matter. Okay, what if Yasuo was right here? Do you know that Yasuo... Do you know that he isn't there?
I do not know.
I know that he's not there because I'm looking at the map.
Okay.
But do you know that he's not... Do you know that he's not here?
No.
By there, I mean further that way.
No, I do not.
Do you know that he's not here? What if Misfortune comes out of the bush?
I guess I'm... assuming Blitzcrank has Q and he hits it, then I'm pretty much donezo.
Hey, look what happened. Misfortune came out of the bush.
Yeah.
Right?
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. From this point, you're out, right? You're safe.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Why do you stay? You
I
can't even see
guess...
Blitzcrank running at you because your camera is not in the proper position. Okay, you see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're just walking on this line, right? You're just walking like this, all happy Skippy. But what you don't see is a Blitzcrank coming here.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention.
Look, you can't even tell he's there. Super, super, super important.
Yeah.
Okay, look at the sideways right now. Why are you not there?
Um, I guess I don't really have an answer to that.
Okay,
I guess
so
I guess I was trying to I guess it might have been in this game or maybe a more recent game, but I think I was just trying to force something to happen.
what happens if you force and you lose?
We lose the tier 2 turret, possibly the inhibitor turret.
You lose Baron, you lose your inhib, and look at bottom wave. You see that fat wave?
That's a
That is a fat
yes.
wave of experience, of gold,
hmm
and of turret pressure you're gonna miss. If you don't get this force off. And even if you do get this force off, this wave is still gonna be pushing. So now you have to go
Yeah.
answer it. So why would you not just answer it earlier? You have teleport.
hmm
You've teleported once this game. Twice.
Yeah.
Like
I guess yeah, it just comes down to the fact that I really have no idea. I guess what I'm doing the majority of the time.
yeah. So just use it, right? Like and how do you learn that kind
Uh,
of stuff? You could experiment like 100 billion times. Like
mhm,
you seriously could. That's what I had to do, right? But like
Yeah.
I'm not saying this to plug streams. I'm not saying this or whatever.
mhm,
But legitimately, if you watch somebody that's better than you, you will see what they do. And if you ask yourself, why did I do it? Or sorry, why
mhm,
did they do it? You'll learn a lot. Because look
Yeah.
at bottom wave. Now you have to answer. Like now you ping it, right? So
Yeah.
you see it now. But
Yeah. I
imagine if
guess
you saw it like 20 seconds earlier.
yeah. I guess so I think I did see it, but I guess the team wanted to force.
Well, no, it
I
doesn't
don't know
matter
what.
what your team wants to do.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I
I
mean,
guess
it does
I
matter,
did
but
see it.
like you have to do the right thing. And what your team
Yeah.
was doing was not the right thing. If what your team is saying is the right thing, then yes. But look, you guys just lost bottom turret for literally zero
Yeah.
reason. Like zero. You are 3 levels behind your top laner. Because like imagine if you would have answered that wave. You'd have gotten probably a level and a half.
Yeah.
That wave was so fat. Okay, right now, what can you do if you go here?
Um. Nothing.
No. You can do 3
Oh.
spells exactly.
Okay. So I guess I can W behind the Graves of Misfortune.
Or I'm not even talking
And
about execution. You have
okay.
exactly 3 spells, and then you are useless.
Okay.
Okay, so you going in here is fine. You just have to know, I have 3 spells. That is it. Because look at your mana. It doesn't take long to calculate that. Okay, I have 170 plus 50, 240. And look, see? So now you have no mana.
Having that die.
You didn't die because you had no mana, but like,
hmm
that's something you need to recognize. And you going in there, like, you're stuck against a wall against Misfortune, and it was already a losing scenario. You guys didn't have enough damage to kill them because you guys are too far behind. So you can't
Yeah.
do that. How could you start winning this game? You need to split. You guys
Okay.
can't straight up 5v5 them. You can't. Like, I know Wukong wants to, I know Sejuani wants to, but that is your ideal win condition.
Yeah.
That is no longer your win condition because Katarina's too fed because of all the mistakes that we've
Mhm.
outlined. So now you need to get Katarina away from your team. You need to be on a side wave and draw pressure. Because guess what? If
Okay.
you're pushing bottom wave and Katarina comes to answer you, who's more valuable?
The Katarina.
The Katarina is infinitely more valuable than than you, right? Like
Yeah.
she just is. That's not like anything wrong. That's just how the situation is. Notice Katarina is jerking off with Caitlyn right now. If Katarina was in that fight with you guys lose.
Yeah.
So Caitlyn just did your job basically of pulling the Katarina away. So you see how like
Yeah.
even though Caitlyn just inted and she died, she just contributed more on a side wave than you have pretty much all game.
Okay.
Right, like using the side wave. Like I'm not saying contributing in general, but she just used a side wave unintentionally and inted better than you've used a side wave. And your champion is literally entirely meant to be on the side wave.
Okay.
And if you watch St. Killian, you'll notice he's literally almost on the side wave the entire game.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like sometimes like I guess I can't really go to the side wave because like the bot lane or the top laner will usually just stay in the lane, so I guess I figure it's just better to sit mid.
But okay, here's the thing: if you go bottom lane, okay, and you dive bottom lane,
Hmm.
and you kill their bottom lane, and you take the turret, and then you say, "Hey, bottom, go mid," and then you just walk bottom,
Okay.
then
I guess I'm just never really sure like what kind of reaction I'm gonna get if I just outright say that.
then you say just go mid, and if they don't go mid, then fine, you stay in mid lane,
Okay.
but you just keep roaming, okay, and then now it's 20 minutes. They're not still going to be bottom lane.
Hmm.
You know, because for the past 10 minutes, they haven't really been bottom lane. They've been like mid with you. Like, you've been sitting mid with them. You actively chose to sit in the same lane as them, which means that you're getting significantly less experience and you're sharing gold.
Okay.
And then you could be getting solo experience, solo gold. So instead of being 14 right now, you could be 16 and a half. Right? Like, it's really, really, really important. And instead of saying like, "Hey, my team isn't letting me split push," you need to say, "No, I'm split pushing because that's what I'm going to do to win the game, and that's our win condition. If it's not our win condition, that's fine. But right now, it is your win condition."
Okay.
Because like I said, Katarina way too strong. You guys can't team fight because Katarina's gonna destroy you. And to answer the question, Big Boy, why is Ekko good in the side lane? Is because it's really long. You can insta clear waves. You demolish turrets. And since it's a long lane, you have kill pressure and you can't die. If you die as Ekko split pushing, you deserve to die because you didn't look at the map, you misplayed very hard, or you just didn't respect them. That's why it's really good. Because tell me, how does Ekko die?
I guess he really can only die if he gets collapsed on and CC trained
And how do you get collapsed on?
by being stupid and not
Not
warding
looking at the
slash
map?
looking at the map.
Okay, yeah. So if Ekko walks away, right, and then oh god, if Ekko walks behind, and then walks forward to Q, he has a getaway card with his ult and his E. That is so much distance. You can literally never kill him. Okay. So sorry, that was the point. And then let's rewatch this team fight.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys all stand in misfortune ult, you get demolished. Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, where should you be going?
Onto the misfortune.
Not really. Yes and no. The answer is you want to get out this way because you have no ult, you have no flash, you have no E, you have no W, you have no Q. How do you get out?
I guess
You have two options.
can't really. Frost Queen's active.
Okay, yeah, so you didn't use your Frost Queens, one. But two, you can walk this way and then try to E this wall. You'll probably die before you get there. Or you can go here, try to get a 3-hit passive, and then run away. Okay, because that's the only way you live this. And if you live this, you can clear the minion wave. So like instead of just walking like this and basing, you can walk mid, clear this minion wave, then walk away.
Okay.
Or you can clear mid like this, walk here, take this next wave, and now they can't push your base.
Okay.
Because they don't have a mini wave. They have this one. So now they have to waste another 10 seconds rotating over here. Which gives you time to respawn. Okay? So you not dying is super, super, super important here. You walk backwards, and you would have gotten your 3-hit passive off by then. Because that was 3 seconds. It would have been really close. But you needed to get away there. And they actually could have ended the game, by the way. but instead they decided to chase Sejuani. Why'd you ult?
Um, I guess it was just a panic. Split second panic.
Do you play Ekko like a lot?
Um, you could say that. Yeah, I think he's probably been my most played in the past few weeks.
Okay, because you're like really, really afraid of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and I know you said that earlier, but
hmm
like kind of like extra afraid. Like, if you're playing Ekko,
hmm
you're like living on the edge, man. Like that's your goal. You want to skirt around fights. You want to get
Yeah.
in, get out. You want to you just want to do stuff. You can't really do stuff if you're like afraid.
Yeah.
Like I think you've wasted your ult like I don't know, probably a good 4 or 5 times already. And that's why I asked because it's just like with
hmm
Trinimir, right?
Yeah.
You if you've ever watched Boxer Pete, how many times does he miss his ult? Almost
Um,
never
never.
because he knows like everything that their champion does. He knows everything that his champion does.
hmm
You should literally look at Echo ult as a Trinimir ult, like unless you're using it for damage. But it's still you look at it the same way. Like I'm trying to do the maximum amount of damage that I can. How do I do that? Well, I use the time window that I have. Okay, well,
hmm
um, can I ult now? Can they kill me right now? No. Okay, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
ult. Right? So it's like you're at 50% health. How does he kill you ever? He auto
hmm
crit. He double crits you and has a static shift proc. That's the only way you die when you have 900 health there. Because
hmm
you have 145 armor. But he doesn't have a static shiv, which you should know. Okay. So that was the end of the game. Yeah, that's a good point. So Big Boy says you compare it to heal in bottom lane. You don't want to heal when you're like 50% health unless they have ignite.
Yeah.
Then you want to heal because ignite destroys your healing.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in mind too. It echoes ult gets hit by ignite as well. So okay, they have ignite. Oh, I need ult a little bit earlier maybe. But if you just like ult randomly, it's like, well, that was stupid. Or if you ult when
hmm
you're in like 60% health and you kill them, and then like you're like, well, I guess I didn't need to use heal. It's that same thing. Okay, so that was the end of the VOD. For
Okay.
your reference, that was 2 hours. I kind of bashed you for 2 hours. Okay, so
Feels
I
good,
recognize that now, and I didn't mean to bash you,
No, I think I was kind
but
of expecting that going in, so.
I think there were a lot of points that I probably could have said in a little bit of a. I probably could have phrased a few things better, but
hmm
what questions do you have right now?
Oh man, I think too many to fathom right now. I think probably because I know it's like a common theme throughout this VOD review is I think my lack of just basically thinking actively.
Okay.
I guess, and I guess just like looking over, I guess what I've done wrong, and I guess seeing where I can fix it. I feel like I feel like probably the biggest thing is knowledge. I think right now, like
Yeah, I would agree.
I clearly like I don't know what half these champions are can do slash are capable of. Um, yeah, I think it's difficult, and I guess this is why when I was submitting the form, I guess I just said like comment on anything and everything that you possibly see wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's because just like yeah, I think just given just how new I am to the game, like I think there's just so much I think that I don't understand and I need to I guess see that it's just a lot. I think and I think yeah, there's definitely still a lot I need to digest. I think.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit then. So,
Hmm.
um, you can see how it's frustrating for players like me when new players come in and then they say like, "Wow, GG, my trash team. I'm hard or I'm so good. They're so bad. I can't carry them."
Hmm.
And you don't have that attitude. I can tell throughout the course of now. But you can
Yeah.
see now how when players are like, "Wow, I deserve Diamond 5. I saw Tobias Fate playing Diamond 5. I'm just as good as them." Well, you're
Hmm.
not. Because a lot of the things that I said, a lot of the players around your skill level probably don't know as well.
Yeah.
And some players will know some things, other players won't know other things. They might know some things that you don't know, and vice versa. But like, you can see there's just so much information to know about League of Legends. So the best way for you to improve with that is straight up to play more games and to watch streams.
Okay.
And you have to ask yourself genuinely, what is your goal in League of Legends?
Hmm.
And that will decide how much time you put into it. Because for me, my goals are different than your goals.
Yeah.
And that's a fact, right?
Yeah.
I play
That's
on a
completely
team.
true.
I play so many hours, right? I just spent 2
Yeah.
hours talking to you about League of Legends absolutely free because I wanted to.
Hmm.
And
Yeah. And thank you for taking the time out of your
yeah,
schedule to do that.
definitely, you're welcome. But like that is something that I'm going to do that you're not going to do, right? You're not going to sit here
Hmm.
for 2 hours and you're not going to talk about League. However, maybe you're playing a game,
Hmm.
you throw a stream up on the side. When you're dead, you watch the stream. You know that
Okay.
that's not unreasonable to ask, right? They're like, um, next time you're playing a normal game, you throw some high elo player on the screen, or
Hmm.
next time instead of watching, I don't know, 16 and pregnant, you watch a league stream. There's ways to learn this kind of stuff without
Hmm.
doing the stuff that I do, and there's ways to
Yeah.
learn it without spending your entire life on League.
Yeah.
Like for example, one of the mentors on the server, his name is Sean, gifted by gods, who's rank 4 LAN.
Yeah.
He literally does not spend any time outside of playing League with League. He only plays it. And that's
Hmm.
fine, but he plays it a lot. And he's thought about the game. He's played with stuff. He's done some mentoring. So he thinks about it on just a deeper level than,
Yeah.
say, you might right now. And identifying your goal in League of Legends is super, super, super important because you shouldn't get stressed over it if your goal is just to have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's probably your goal. So
Hmm.
just don't like overstress yourself because I know I gave you a lot
Yeah.
of information. And winning is obviously more fun. So if you apply some of
Hmm.
it, you'll probably win more. But don't be
Yeah.
like, oh my god, TJ just gave me like a million pieces of advice and I just like applied two. I'm hard stuck. I hate this. I'm so sorry. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. Right? That's
Hmm.
not your goal.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I think my goal is definitely to improve and get better at the game. I think, yeah, because like I think before, especially like a few months ago, like when I was doing ranked, I was like really nervous because I didn't want to lose. But I think over the past, I think few weeks, like I've just started looking at it more as practice
hmm
and as a chance to like see what I did wrong and what I can do to improve. So I think once I started looking at it like that, it got a lot less stressful.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. That was a big key that I learned as well. Um, so if I summarize the biggest points, I will put them down as your camera management sucks. Like there is no way to sugarcoat
Yeah.
that word. Like it's just plain awful because the amount of times that I asked you like, why are you doing this? Oh, well,
Mhm.
I'm doing it because of this. But how do you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I don't.
I don't. So that's really important. Um, and if you have that information, you're gonna be able to make more educated decisions, which then means you'll make better plays,
Hmm.
assuming you're thinking about them actively.
Yeah.
Which comes to the next point: thinking actively. Okay, active thinking. I would say this skill right here is the one that every single player struggles with the most. Rather, every single player that's like below masters,
Hmm.
because the players that are already masters already actively think about this stuff. even if they say they don't, like, for example, me, I'm not thinking about, like, hey, how many minions do I need to kill right now?
Yeah.
100% of the time, like 100% of the time, I'm not thinking about that because I've already been in the situations, so I can just copy and paste my solutions. You know, just like a math formula.
Mm-hmm.
When you're first learning the quadratic formula, right? Like you're like, oh,
Yeah.
what is it? You're like, oh, well, it's just this. And how do you learn that? You just do it. You just learn. And then suddenly it becomes just second nature, and you don't actually have to actively think about it. Like, oh, what was the acronym again? Oh, wait, what was that song? Oh, what was that? Whatever. Because you just know it, and then you're not thinking about it actively anymore because you're already used to it. So then it's just second nature, and that's how I'm able to digest all this information and then make an educated decision out of it. And seriously, the only way to do that is experience with the game.
Okay.
You can watch or you can play. And what I'd highly, highly, highly recommend is Pobelter's playthroughs. I don't know if you've seen those.
I have seen those.
Okay, stuff like that. Okay, I do a few of those. Prismal does some of those. I think Saber does some of those. Look for those and watch those. Okay, because the players, they're saying, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. Because this is what I'm doing, it doesn't matter. Because in every game, it's going to be different. This is why I'm doing it matters significantly more. Because you're able to say, oh, wait. C9, they backed off the fight because they knew it was lost and they killed the minion wave. That way, TSM couldn't push with the minion wave. Oh, shoot, wait. My team, we just lost a dragon. I'm going to go take the minion wave. But if you never see that C9 versus TSM thing, you might not do that. And, you know, that's not the only example of something when that happens. It's happened before. So it wasn't like C9 was the creator of that strategy. That's happened forever. But that's just like the most recent example that would be fresh in your mind. But once you see that, you're able to apply it. And it's kind of like a you don't know what you don't know type thing. Because if you don't know the solution, you're just going to blindly do everything. Yeah. And until you actively do things, you will continue to not know what you're doing wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree with that because, like, I remember, I think when Magic/Supreme did like that, what was it, classroom session, I think, last week, I think I mentioned, like, how to do self-thought reviews. And, like, I guess I tried doing that, and it's just, like, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I don't know anything, so, like, I'm just, like, looking at these videos and, like, okay, I died here, but I don't know what I could have done better. So.
Well, so if you ever have to ask yourself, I don't know, there always is something, just to clarify. Because if you're dead, you did something wrong. Yeah. In 95% of cases, I would say. You know, if you're a tank, okay, well, your job literally is to die. Like, your job is to just cause as much a nuisance as you can and then die. Or rather, not die, but it's more likely you're going to die. But if you're a carry, unless you kill 4 people for yourself, you probably made a mistake. If you die not in a team fight, it is your fault. Because you should know where the enemy jungler is. You should be tracking him. How do you do that? You get better wards. You look at your map more. You look at the enemy movements. Okay, cool. If you die solo in your lane, how did you die solo in your lane? You misplayed. Where'd you misplay? Go back and watch. From the second you're not full health, I'm sure you will find something. Oh, okay, he got a free auto here. Okay, he got a free auto here. Okay, he got a free auto here. If I didn't take these free autos, I would be alive. Dang, that mattered a lot. Or, okay, I just got hit by a Xerath stun. How did I get hit by a Xerath stun? Oh, I wasn't behind my minions. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And because I got hit by the Xerath stun, I got hit by the W and the Q. 100%. Well, now I just lost all my health. And then his jungler came and dove me. Okay, well, that makes sense why I just got dove now. So you see how I'm just like, I literally just created those hypothetical scenarios. But I'm able to create those on the spot because I've gone through these types of things where it's like, hey, I'm playing against Caitlyn. Why did I just take 6 autos? Okay, yeah, Caitlyn's a stupid champion, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, it's true. But, like, I shouldn't have taken those autos because I should know that 70 of my health is not worth that 1 minion.
Yeah.
Just let it go. It sucks. It sucks. Like, I'm not going to lie. But, like, that's part of the reason I died. So, how do I fix that in the future? Maybe I used my cooldown when I didn't have to, and then I could have used my cooldown to CS better. That makes sense. Oh, that's a good reason. Maybe I could have been in the bush and then auto-attacked from the bush and then, done that. Or maybe I wasn't able to get bush control. Why wasn't I able to get bush control? Oh, I didn't try to push level 1. Oh, okay, I stupidly warded something when my support just warded. Oh, okay, I traded too much and then she has bush control. So you see how there's like just a ton of scenarios in which you can like think about this kind of stuff. And literally it's every single action you take. You could think about it and say, was that the right action? So yeah, I think that was some really good content right there, actually. And
No, I wholeheartedly agree.
that is how you improve at the game. So yeah, cool. I just rambled on for like 10 minutes about nothing. Well, obviously it's super important stuff, but camera management, active thinking, and just knowledge in general, right? Like the different pathing mistakes.
Yeah.
Knowing when to queue as Ekko. Knowing, hey, I only have 3 spells. Knowing that she's going to instant kill me. Knowing to use my potion. Knowing this. Knowing that. There's all these just things that you need to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any questions then? Now that I've gone through all that.
I guess,
And if you don't, you can always PM me questions, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think right now, I don't have any questions right now. I think I probably just need to
Soak it all in.
Yeah, I just need to soak it all in. So, but no, thank you for taking the time to do this
You're welcome.
review with me. Definitely a lot of information that I just need to ponder over right now. So,
Sounds good.
yeah, I guess I don't have any questions unless you have anything you would like
Nope.
to ask me.
I do not. Cool. So have a great night then. I'm going to hop out of the rooms. That way I can say goodbye and not bug you.
All right.
So have a great night. Oh, shoot.
All right, you as well.
Okay, so that was a 2-hour VOD review. I am incredibly tired. I am going to go to bed. However, that VOD review will be in my Twitch VODs. It will be uploaded to YouTube tonight, but it won't be published until tomorrow. And if you want to see more like that, go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube because this is what I'm doing 3 times a week. So super interesting stuff. I think there was a lot of really, really, really good content in this VOD review for people to learn from, especially newer players. But if you're curious about like the game and just small interactions, as I said probably 100 times, it's all about being in the situation and then adapting it into future situations and experiencing them. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the VOD. Have a great night, guys, and I'll see you in either tomorrow or 2 days. Good night.